But FR. For real.
Hello, my name is Matt Brost with Lockton. In my role, I consult with employers all around the country related to their employee benefits strategy. We're in conversations all the time about how to attract the best talent and get the best out of their people. Work ethic, integrity, those are all traits of people that pursue excellence, and it doesn't even stop there. From the boardroom to the storeroom, we're going to find out what drives those people. Welcome to the excellence culture. This is going to be an excellent adventure. Well, welcome to the excellence culture. Today is really exciting for a number of different reasons. We've got a little different setup here, which is pretty cool. I feel like Johnny Carson. But more importantly, I'm here with two of my favorite girls in the world, my daughters. So I've got Izzy and Layla. And Izzy is 12 years old and Layla is 14. And we live in Highland Village, Texas, and they go to school, to middle school called Briar Hill. But yeah, really excited to have you all here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really fun. And they've been able to watch a number of the Excellence Culture videos. And, you know, from Garrett, Dude Perfect, obviously, you enjoyed watching that one, all the way to some friends that we've had on there that y'all have enjoyed watching. So really exciting stuff. I kind of wanted to, normally when I have these conversations, I kind of go past, present, future. Y'all don't have, I mean, you've had a short life so far, so we're probably not going to go there. But I think to start out, I would love to just hear from you two. And we'll start with Izzy. What's been your favorite age so far?
Probably when I was in preschool, because at the preschool that I went to, we got a few days off of school during the week, and we'd call those mommy days. So I'd like hang out with Mama, and one time with Layla had a field trip to the zoo in kindergarten, and I had one of my mommy days, and Layla did not like this, but I went to the zoo with them because I was off of school, and it was really, really fun.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. I didn't know you were going to go all the way back to preschool. I can barely remember that time, but you remember it. All right, Layla, how about you?
I mean, probably either like 13 or the age I am now, because I just think it's like a fun time for me right now, being able to like be with friends, and I just yeah, you've got a really, really neat friend group, and I'm really thankful for all those girls that you hang out with. And you know, what else do you have going on right now that's pretty fun? Volleyball, definitely.
Yeah,
I think that's a big part of just everything right now.
We are officially a volleyball family. So
yes,
Izzy, you play too, right?
Yes.
Yes. They both play for a volleyball club called Instinct that's up in Lake Dallas. And there's a coach there, her name is Selene. And she was actually an Olympian. And she's been a big part of y'all becoming some pretty good volleyball players. So that's pretty cool, right? All right, so we were able to kind of talk about, you know, some of your favorite things, but I think a lot of life has a lot of hard things, right? And so, you know, we've recently gone through as a family a lot of loss, right? And loss is hard, but loss can also, there's some great things that come out of loss too, right? So I want to watch a video really quick that, you know, is kind of like involves some of the loss that we've gone through. All right, so the reason why we've got Layla and Izzy up here is that there's something really special that Graham, who she went by to the grandkids, that she would do very often. And I would say almost every week they would have something that's called Graham Night. And it was the sleepover over at Graham's house. And so I just wanted to, you know, I think it's going to kind of bring some joy into this room, and I think there's nothing more that Mom would want. So we're going to talk about Graham Night a little bit, okay? So Izzy, how did Graham Night kind of get started?
So it wasn't really like an activity that we did first. It was like something that she said. So Mommy and Daddy would drop us off at Graham's house. They would stay there and talk for like 5 minutes. And then when they left, Graham would say, "Oh, the party started." And so, yeah.
That's great. I can see her doing that. And it's funny because Jess and I would go, you could just tell she wanted us out of the house really quick. So what was after that, Layla?
We would usually go to Cotton Patch, and we would go there a lot. She would usually get either a burger, a Cobb salad, or some mozzarella sticks. And we went there so many times that the waiters actually got to know us and know our order, and it was just so fun.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Did Graham do anything funny at all, like
yes.
to the servers?
There was this one waiter that had long nails, and she saw them and said, "How do you do stuff with those?" And that was fun.
Yeah, that's cool. What was next, Izzy? What was next on the agenda?
Well, after that, we would go to Tom Thumb. Tom Thumb was like our favorite store. And we wouldn't go there for like groceries. We'd go there for a pint of ice cream for each of us. I would get chocolate chip cookie dough, Layla would get Dutch chocolate, and Graham, she would have a gallon of vanilla or vanilla bean ice cream at home. And yeah.
That's great. All right, so y'all got home. What was next, Layla?
So we would usually sleep in the living room. So we would get a pallet out. I would sleep on a mattress. Graham would sleep on the couch. And Izzy, she slept on this big giant pallet we called the Cloud, because it was like all these white blankets put together, and Izzy said it felt like a cloud. So Graham was like, well, that's the new name. So
That's great. And what was after that?
Well, we would start a movie, and like kind of at the halfway point of the movie, we'd go to the freezer, get our ice cream, and we'd eat out of the ice cream thing. And Layla and me would eat our whole pint, and Graham would almost eat the whole gallon. And then we'd finish the movie, and Graham would say, "Okay, let's look for another one." And I'd say, "Okay."
All right, Laylee, maybe you can speak to the next morning. What was next morning like?
So we would all wake up, and she would make us cinnamon rolls, and yeah, they were so good.
Yeah.
I know they just came out of like this big little roll, but like she put some love into them.
So Layla, anything else that you'd like to say about Graham?
We're all gonna miss her. She was a big part of, I think, everyone's lives, and yeah.
Izzy?
I'm really gonna miss her smile.
Yep. All right, thank you.
All right. So yeah, we went back in 2020, and I've shared this a little bit before, but back in 2020, we lost both Pops, and we lost Grandpa, and then shortly after that, we lost Graham. And so obviously that's a lot of loss in a short amount of time, right? And so I wanted to hear from you guys, from your perspective, just what did you learn from that, right? Like, yeah, I'd love to maybe start with Layla.
Well, I think this has always been something I've always thought about with a lot of things, just that life kind of moves on. You just kind of keep going with life.
Yeah.
Just because something hard happens, life's not going to stop for you. So
Yeah.
You just got to keep going.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with your personality too. Like, some people it's a little different, but I think for you, you have been really resilient, no doubt. How about you, Izzy?
I've learned that family is the most important thing, especially in a time like that. It's just so nice to have like a person or multiple people that are there for you and understand what you're going through and take care of you through all that.
Yeah. and you've been a really good family member for us too. You've helped us. So, but Graham was special, and so we miss her, and she would love this moment right now, right? So, so I want to go into now. We're going to kind of talk a little bit about some of the excellence culture videos I've done so far. Okay, and there was one that was with Lori Bunger Nolette. And Lori is one of our favorite people, and she loves these girls too. But Lori had something really profound that she talked about. It's not really scared of a challenge at all. If anything, it seems like finally I'm challenged. Now it's time for me to thrive. And I really want to hear maybe, what do you attribute to that? Like if you just sit down and think, gosh, like that's right. Why am I that way? Do you have anything from, a mentor that you had growing up, or just hard times in your life, or anything like that you would say attributed to that trait of just not being scared of a challenge?
I would challenge that question myself by, I don't know if it's necessarily a trait that you're not scared of a challenge. I think what we might be looking for here is our relationship with failure. And for me, and this probably is a little natural, but I think anyone can choose this, you have to have a very healthy relationship with failure to be okay. Yeah. Professionally especially, that you can't be afraid to ask a question. You can't be afraid to step out on the court. Monday morning quarterbacks are the worst, right? You have to be willing to get in there and mess up, because to me, the most beautiful things come from the mistakes. Strength comes from the mistakes. I've pitched several ideas to our upper executive team. They've yet to bite on any of them, but I know that each one gets better. I know I become smarter with each round, and that's just part of the process. And you got to be okay with failing. And
so got to watch that thing with Lori, and I remember when I was, sitting in this other studio listening to that, and she said having a healthy relationship with failure. And I totally agree. Like, some of the most successful people that I've been around, they're willing to take risks, etc. And so, what is there any kind of, failure or anything that y'all struggle with that, you're working to get over?
So I have a volleyball coach who is a very good volleyball coach, but she is very tough on us. So it kind of makes me really scared to mess up or something, like in a volleyball game. If I shank a pass, and I'm just scared that she could get mad at me. But I feel like it should be a thing that pushes me to recover from that and try not to mess up again. But if I do, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah. So a healthy fear of failure for you would be looking at her being hard, knowing that's going to make you stronger, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Layla, how about you?
I've never really had a fear of failing in a way, because I just know that it's going to be okay if I do, and that I'm going to learn from it. I don't know why I've been that way, but I've always thought that, and I've just known I would be okay.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, and I'm not surprised you're saying that. So, when Layla was born, she was born less than 5 pounds, full term, and we found out that, she had the placenta wasn't feeding you right, and so you've just been a fighter ever since. And I think that fighter mentality has really brought out somebody that you're just not scared, when it comes down to it. And so that's cool, and you see it on the volleyball court for sure. All right, so before we get into some pretty fun stuff, because I'm actually really excited about that, we're going to talk about some teenage slang in a little bit. But I want to hear a role model that y'all have. Layla, how about you?
Okay, I think don't get jealous because you're definitely a role model too. But I think mommy definitely, because she like worked really hard whenever she was younger to especially get to college, and she like worked her butt off.
Yeah.
And she was just like a hard worker.
Yeah.
And I want to be like that. So.
She is in here right now. You don't see her, but she's probably loving that, and it's very, very deserved. And she was a very hard worker. So your mommy, she played soccer at the University of Texas, and literally started every single game from freshman all the way through senior. I think still to this day is the only soccer player that's ever done that. So yeah, she was a hard worker, and she's an unbelievable mom. So Izzy, how about you? It's your mommy again, I'm sure.
It's both of y'all. You both are my role models because you both like set a path for me and Layla, like tell us what's good to do and what's not good to do. And I feel like that's really important.
Well, that was one question that we didn't want to know answers to. So I've tried to not rehearse this much with y'all, right? So thank you so much. Are there, just off the top of your head, are there any other role models that aren't your parents that you think of? Just like off the cuff.
I think Selene, our coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's just,
Lori.
Yeah, Lori.
Yeah. Okay, why Selene though?
I don't know. She just pushed us to like be as best as we could.
Yeah.
Like it can be hard sometimes, but
and
like
she was in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
I think that's really, really cool.
She's a very good coach.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah.
How about Lori? Why Lori?
Because she talked about in her video that it's hard kind of being one of the only women like at her job.
Yeah.
But she still does it without
she's good
like
at it
complaining or anything, and she's really good at it. And she was a volleyball player.
Yeah.
I mean,
volleyball's a good game. Good sport. Okay, cool. Fun time now. Okay, super fun, because you guys are getting into this teenage world now. Like Izzy's 12, Layla's 14, and I'm just noticing these weird slang terms are coming, and I don't know what they mean. And so I thought that I could just run through a list of slang words and ask, what is that? And y'all can tell me. So, okay, we're going to start with maybe one that's on the outs, and everybody might know, but how about sus?
Oh,
sus.
Okay.
Okay. It means like you're suspicious. If someone says you're very sus right now, it just means like you're suspicious.
No
you're
one
acting
really
suspicious.
says it anymore.
Okay.
But like it's still
Nobody
fun.
says it anymore?
No, it's kind of over.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably say it.
So if you say sus, you're not cool?
No.
But it's like
say
no
it,
one
but,
really
like,
says it anymore. But
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay, cool. All right, so what's cap?
Oh,
like
cap,
no cap?
It's like
It's like
so
saying,
if you say that's cap, that means like
You're telling
that's
a
not
lie.
real. You're
Like,
telling a lie.
you-
If you say that's like
no cap,
no
that
cap,
means
that means that's
so
real.
True. Like,
That's
yeah.
true.
Okay, so
So-
use that in a sentence.
Like
If someone's like, oh, it's so cold outside, you're like, and it's, let's say you don't think it is, you could be like, that's cap. Or if you're like, no cap, if it's cold outside.
Okay, so no cap is that it's true.
so
Cap is that's a lie.
just
Yes.
cap.
Okay.
The word cap, just think of it meaning the word lie. So
Okay.
no
Yes.
lie or
Okay.
lie. Yeah.
That's helpful. Okay. How about bet?
Bet.
It's like just kind of setting a bet, like
Like if someone says, hey, I'm gonna go, do you want to like race me? I bet you won't beat me. If you say bet, that means, I bet I
Oh,
will
yeah.
beat you.
you're like, if someone says, do you want to race?
Okay.
You can
so
be like,
that,
bet.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
It's
serious.
just like
Yeah.
setting a bet.
All right. How about slay?
Slay. Okay. That's kind of a hard one to explain.
It's just saying when someone's like awesome or something, when they're doing something
Excellent.
cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
yeah, but
So we should call it slay culture.
but
Yes.
if someone like you could say, oh, you're slaying right now. That means
Like,
like
you're
you're
doing
doing great right
Yeah.
now, or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
People call me Slayla.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been called that before.
That sounds like a really good compliment.
Yeah.
Slayla.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, soar? Is soar something?
I've never heard of that.
What is that?
What is that?
Okay, I must have misspelled it. So I don't
Soar?
know what that one was.
Soar.
Soar?
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't
Alright.
know.
I'm trying to think of what it could be.
How about bussin'?
Bussin'.
Bussin'. Oh, that's
Okay.
bussin'. That means like,
That's,
okay,
like,
if you
really
tried
cool,
really
or-
good food or something, and you're like,
That's
oh, that's
bussin' food.
bussin'.
Uh-huh.
That means it's really good.
Yeah. It just means something
Okay.
really good.
Okay.
I don't know why. It makes no sense. But
So
that's
where-
just,
These
What's
words
your-
don't make any sense. I don't.
No, but it's real. I mean, we gotta know. So
Oh, I know what soar was.
okay,
It
what
was
was it?
SAR.
SAR.
So it's just kind of what I say.
SAR. Okay.
It's like kind of just abbreviating sorry and just saying SAR.
I'm so sorry.
Like, I'm so sorry, or
Okay,
something like
okay.
that.
yeah. She's the
Okay.
only one that does it though.
No,
Oh,
people in my grade do it,
Okay.
but
okay.
I feel like
Well, maybe after this, more people will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
hopefully.
Okay, what's the most bussin' restaurant that for
Oh my
y'all
That's hard. I mean,
in this area?
in this area, Chick-fil-A is pretty bussin'.
Chick-fil-A is bussin'.
Merido's bussin'.
Merido, yeah, golf course.
Yes.
It's bussin' there.
In
There's
this
Cotton
area.
Patch is bussin'.
Oh, we haven't been.
We
to
haven't
Cotton
been there
Patch
in
for a long
so
time.
long.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like an actual good restaurant that I've been to.
There's a lot. There's
Yeah,
a lot.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so fire sounds just like
Bussin'.
bussin'.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
basically the same.
Like someone
Okay.
said that to you, one of Layla's friends was
They said
like,
your
"Oh,
shoes
your
were
shoes
fire.
are
fire."
fire. Your shoes are fire."
Yeah.
That just means they're really cool.
Okay. Okay, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. I mean,
It's like if
honestly,
you
it's just
have-
what you say. If it's like an inside
Yeah.
joke, and your friend is right there that doesn't know the inside joke, they're like, "What do you mean?" You're like, "If you know, you know."
Like if I say something to my friends like super funny, like I've met like Ryan, I probably have an inside joke with, you know, yeah, and I'll say like if you know, you know, and then she'll start laughing.
Yeah.
But and
All right.
everyone else will be like, what?
Mhm.
Okay, now there's like just FR. What's FR?
FR for
Okay,
real.
For real.
For
So,
real. Okay.
For
People,
real.
for real.
Yes.
So, but a lot of people like to also say like real, and that sort of stuff. Just,
FR.
but FR, for real. Yeah,
Okay, MB or
my bad.
and then sometimes
Thanks.
you'll say my B
Yeah,
My B.
my B. MB.
or it's
Like,
my bad.
let's
My
say
yeah.
if you're in a volleyball game, I don't say this, but and you
I've
shank a
accidentally
pass,
said it before.
you could be like MB.
I've said
my
that
B,
on
my
accident
B.
before, and then I was like, why did I say that?
It's so funny because this has all come from just I think the world has a lot to do with texting now, and people are just abbreviating things. But now it's getting into like our speech. which
Yeah,
is
I
crazy.
don't.
So,
I don't
So
really
funny.
do that with texts, that sort of stuff.
Oh,
But I
you s-
do it just
okay.
talking
Okay.
to people. I don't know why.
How about Riz?
Riz.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
you
if
can explain it.
okay, so basically, I don't exactly know how to explain it in like a really good way,
Okay, so like
but
if a guy goes up to you,
or a girl,
Or-
like if a girl goes up to a guy,
yeah, I
And then-
don't know how to explain it, and like rizzes you up, that means kind of like flirts with you
yeah,
in a
it's
way.
basically flirting.
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
but like if you say someone's got Riz, that means like they get all the guys or they get all the girls in a
Mhm.
way.
It's weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Okay, we got a couple more. Simp.
Simple.
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 Okay. So
Like that's so simp.
that's so simp. Okay.
What?
Ship.
No,
What's
that's
ship?
not what simp means. But anyways, also. Oh. Huh?
How about ship?
Ship. It means like you can see these two people together like in a relationship.
Like I ship.
like,
Ah.
I ship these two people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay, there is one last one. Gyat.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We're going there.
All it
what
means-
what
just
does
means
gyat
if
mean?
you
Because there
say
might be
gyat-
parents who are like, what is gyat?
If you say yacht to your friend, it means you're telling them they have a big booty.
Okay.
What it means.
There's a big
It's
butt.
going straight
That's
out
what
there.
it means.
But that's all it means.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would assume that y'all aren't saying that much.
I'll say it to like my friends if I'm like being funny. Like,
Okay.
But I won't say it to someone that I like barely know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just
Like, I'll say
weird.
it to,
That's
like-
just weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of the teenage slang lessons.
We should make our own.
Is there any? We should make our
Ooh,
own.
What ist?
Ist.
Ist. Okay,
I
we were
support- I
talking about
support that.
this, and I support that, right?
Yes.
So ist. Do you think that we could get some legs on that? Ist.
Maybe.
Yes.
Should it be ist or ist?
I think either way. I think it could
Either
be
way.
Yeah, it could be either way.
Okay.
Let's start that.
I support
right now.
that. That just means I agree,
Mhm.
which I support that would be ist.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right. So to kind of wrap up a little bit, I'd love to hear if you, from your perspective as kids, have any advice for parents.
Do you want to start?
I mean, sure. I think you guys do a good job of this, but like still being in their lives and like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a parent, so, but like still giving them independence if they deserve it, but still like being there and like if they do something, like still giving them a consequence, but still like
Yeah.
giving them
So it's a
little-
balance of independence.
But
But
only
s-
independence if they deserve it. If they're not that good of a kid, maybe don't give them too much independence.
Yeah, you've probably
But
seen it,
I
right?
don't really.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can see people that probably have more independence than they should.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How about you, Iz?
To me, I feel like the biggest thing is social media, because I'm only 12 and Layla's only 14. We don't have social media, and I'm super glad we don't, because I see all these kids like who have social media, but they think that they need to be like the people on TikTok or anything like
They're
that.
only supposed to be 13 to have it anyways.
Yeah,
Like,
and they like lie about their age and that sort of stuff, but we're not gonna get into that. But I don't think it's needed to have social media. Like,
especially at our age.
I'm so happy I don't have social media.
Because I think after you get social media, you can get super dramatic about things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It's not.
So you all have some friends that have social media.
mhm.
Do you think it kind of is hard on their mind too? Do you think like
I
Yeah.
think
And-
because a lot of
they're
in
just
the
on their
business
phone.
world we talk
Yeah.
about mental health a lot.
They're just
Yeah.
on
And-
their phone like all the time. Like if I'm having a sleepover with a friend, which I don't really have a friend who has TikTok, but let's say I did.
Yeah.
They would just be like on their phone the whole time, and
Yeah.
I'm like, let's do something else.
yeah, like I have some friends
But-
where like they'll be on their phone 24/7. Like we can't get them off of it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just like, can you please get off your phone? We're trying to talk.
Yeah. It's hard.
But
Yeah, well, I'm glad that y'all see it that way. All right, so I want to really quick watch a little excerpt of another excellence culture, and it's with Clay Scroggins. And to me, he defines this concept of excellence like as it applies to life. And so we're going to watch that really quick.
So I just choose to believe that no, it is possible from wherever you are, whatever seat that you find yourself in today, that you can create, you can cultivate influence for yourself, and you do it by creating excellence right where you are. Whatever you're doing right now, the place where you start on cultivating influence for yourself is, I'm going to be the best Subway sandwich line chef possible. And the fear that people have is they go, well, how long is it going to take me to get noticed, right? I mean, when is the manager going to notice, or when are they going to give me my own store? And the answer is when it's time. I think people are discovered from all parts of organizations, but it's going to take time to invest in your craft, to invest in what you're doing, to build relationships with people, and to prove that, you know, that you have what it takes to be able to handle more. I love the simple line that Jesus gave. This is one of Jesus' biggest leadership principles, is he said, if you want to be trusted with more, you start right where you are. That he who is faithful with little is showing that he or she can handle more. And it really is the answer. It's the pathway. I think it was the former CEO of IBM said, nothing so conclusively proves your ability to lead others as what you do on a day-to-day basis to lead yourself.
So really cool. Clay is a great friend, but he is also very wise, and he's really good as it relates to leadership, etc. And so
to kind of apply this to you guys, what kind of ways do you think you guys can try to be excellent as a kid, right? It's different than adults. But as a kid, what kind of ways do you guys want to focus on trying to be excellent?
You can go ahead.
For me, probably with my teammates and my friends, to be a safe space for them, because I've been through a lot of loss and I know how it feels to be like really sad and like grieve. And if I have a friend who's going through kind of the same thing, I want to be able to be there for them and tell them, I know how you feel, it's not fun, but you will get through it, and that I'm there for them.
Yeah, be a really trusting friend, right? That's good. Layla, how about you?
Definitely Izzy's, but also just being one of like the hardest working people on like in sports or in school, like getting good grades, especially like being that person that'll take the time to study, or just being known as the hardest working person.
Yeah. So you can slay it.
So I can be Slayla.
So I can be Layla. I love it. Well, you girls, I want to wrap it up by just kind of edifying you two. Izzy, you just bring joy everywhere you go, and I'm very thankful. And Layla, you were just such a steady person, and you have been for our family. And so both of you guys, this has been really, really cool. And maybe down the road, maybe I'm still doing this, and y'all are career people or something, and then we talk about career stuff. But right now, y'all are slaying childhood.
Slaying the day.
And it's bussin'.
It's fire.
It's fire. Okay. Well, awesome. Well, hey, girls, welcome to the excellence culture. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah, cool.